Welcome to Inches and Cubes, your Warhammer 40,000 podcast, brought to you tonight by Henderson's Brewery. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Ooh, doesn't that sound good? Yeah, that sounds nice.
Here's some music. So we're back. Tonight we're doing our favorite, fan favorite, that's for sure, FMK, Frag, Marry, Kill 2, a Secret of the Ooze.
Secret of the Ooze?
Yeah, it's the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Sure.
You actually poured that up pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. That's fine. There we go.
We can still cheers, though.
Yeah, I was like...
So what do we got here?
So, we have a Junction Special, the Henderson's Best beer. This is an amber ale. It's fantastic, and I'm definitely going to read the proof.
Do it.
Yeah.
In days of yore, Toronto settlers loved nothing more than a delicious draught of
Draft.
of traditional English ale. Fast forward a couple hundred years to right here and now, to the bottle you're holding in your hand and the beer you're about to enjoy. This is the heir to that tradition, a modern, refreshing take on a classic English ale that honors our past and looks to the future. This is Henderson's Best.
It,
Bum.
like, and not just because they sponsor us, because we sought out this sponsorship because we didn't want to drink shit beer. Not that we have been, but like, there's no point. You know what I'm saying.
Right
Yeah,
there with you, bud. It's fantastic. Like, it's beer.
yeah, it's highly drinkable.
So more than beer. Here's what's nice about this. It's dark, and so it has a lot of flavor. It's sessionable, so it's still like light.
Yeah,
But it has that bitter flavor that's kind of like really popular right now. And so there you go.
yeah, but it doesn't like dry your mouth like a glass of tanniny wine.
Yeah.
Because like I've had. Oh, who was that? Ah, shit. Yeah. Sorry, we have the Twitch stream on, so someone just decided to go ahead and subscribe. Is this a subscribe the word?
Follow.
Follow. Yeah. So it's Henderson's Best. It's nice. It's comes in cans as well, not just bottles.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, very sessionable. Goes well with like a nice creamy cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Goes well with
Gangsta
burgers.
grilled
Gangsta
cheese.
especially.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
No, because this would like fly right through fat, right? Like something like really heavy and really fatty.
Yeah.
So like a pizza, a burger.
Yeah, so I think it's just a huge shout out to Henderson's for being like a meeting spot for us as well.
As a club, yeah.
Yeah, because Adam, you had your daughter's diaper party there.
Yeah, I did.
That was the first time I ever was introduced to Henderson's. Paul was trapped in...
Labrador, the impossible place.
Just because not everyone else knows this, but you know we know this and we've said it enough. But it was your idea to do the diaper party, and then you didn't show up, and you're like, "I'm in another province."
Yeah,
I'm in another country, basically.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we've done lots of stuff there. We've had their beer on the podcast before, and one of their taproom servers, another Nick, that makes like 6 that I know and are in my social group now, overheard us talking about the podcast and came up to me and was like, "Hey man, I hear you do a podcast." He's a D&D player. He's got nerd tattoos up the wazoo.
You said it was Wazoo?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He got tattoos up in there. And yeah, and he was like, reach out to our community organizer and we'll see if we can do something nice for you. So we went over there today and
Sometimes reaching out someone's wazoo has benefits.
yeah. So today is Henderson's day on Inches and Cubes, so we're going to be sampling 6 of their beers. So enough pushing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's straight what? Straight. Oh, okay, not so bad. I thought it was more than 4
Hey,
minutes, but
You know
pretty
what?
they deserve it.
They do deserve it.
You know who's great though? TheWarPainter.com.
Yeah, that's a great segue, Paul. I hear you got some awesome hobby progress and something came in the mail yesterday.
Well, hold on. Let's do games played first.
Okay.
Nick, you got any games played?
No, Adam, you go first because I'll take the longest.
Sounds good. You're right. That's typically how it goes.
Yeah.
All right, so I didn't play any games.
All right. Well, luckily, I also didn't play any games.
And it's a good thing because I didn't play any games either.
Yeah,
I have an excuse. I was in Ohio for 4 days.
I'm coming off like a month-long Warhammer bender.
Yeah.
I'm on detox.
I feel like this weekend, Saturday rolled around and I didn't do anything, and I was like, I should roll some dice, like just absentmindedly.
We hung out.
It's just your hands just
we
twitching
were
in that
drinking.
motion.
Yeah.
Just,
I mean, that was your like detox from Warhammer, was hanging out with me.
yeah, true. Drinking for. Oh god, that was a long day.
It was a great day.
I texted you when I got home because after like a bunch of beers at Henderson, I went to a party and then got home around like 2:00. And I was just like, I'm very tired. Like not even like tired from too many beers, just like tired from just talking a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go into hobby progress. This morning, I got a really nice present in the mail from my guy Marco at War Painter. I ordered the Scale 75 gold set, the Alchemy and Metal, or Metal and Alchemy, and it's so nice. Like, the paint quality is so... it's such like a high pigment, fine grain pigment metallic, which... You know, sometimes you can like catch the grain in metallics, but the cool thing with this is that it has corresponding washes. So yeah, it has like a violety wash and a green wash, and
Do they come in the set?
yeah,
Nice. You're going to do the violet for your gold?
yeah. I'm thinking I'm gonna do the violet on Dorn because it'll bring out the yellows in the highlights, and I really want like a nice yellow looking gold. So yeah, that was one of my things that arrived in the mail.
What else he sent you? So sent you some extra little fun stuff.
He threw in an old metal wraith, which was cool as shit to get.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm gonna do is cut the head off and swap out one of the arms and make it a Cryptek. And depending on what that piece of war gear in the new box that we'll talk about later is, maybe that's how I'll run him.
Nice.
As like a little floaty Cryptek. Dorn is all... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, and listeners of Inches and Cubes can get 10% off warpainter.com with EWG10.
It's numeral 10, isn't it? Right? Like 10?
Yes.
1-0.
Yeah.
Not X.
That'd be a good one, though. Yeah, so Dorn's been all primed, which is good, except for his sword, which should be arriving in the mail Wednesday, according to the UPS people. The guys at Forge World were like lickety-split getting a new piece out to me.
Did you confirm that it's just the sword?
I have not confirmed that it's just the sword. I really want a double head so I can sculpt mutton chops on there. Well, like big ones too. Big Doom Rider, Raff on a good day mutton chops. So yeah, that's Dorn's all ready to go, which is nice timing because that package arrived today. The Typhon is the thing that I've been spending a lot of time on this week. So all the blacks are highlighted with dry brushing because I'm lazy. The yellow has been line highlighted because I'm not so lazy that I'll compromise quality.
I feel you, bro.
Yeah, because also like dry brushed yellow would look messy, but dry brushed black I'm going to be able to work in my weathering techniques really easily and kind of hide all those sins. So yeah, that thing's ready for the last few metallics, get sealed up, and then weathering powder. I did on the side, you can see if you're looking at the photos, just like a gray stripe down the back quarter of it, just because when I put a decal on it, it's going to give like a nice sort of long feel to that image, that graphic.
You'll frame it nicely.
Yeah. Which is sometimes I find with the way that I've been using decals, I haven't really planned it while I've been painting the model, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I had like done this on a black background just to make it pop more, or like on a white background. So this I really kind of mapped out what I was going to do. That thing is looking great. I should have it done by next week, I hope.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Not gonna play with it.
yeah, you will.
You're right, I will.
Yeah, me and Connor are planning a 3K game for like, I don't know, I think 2 weeks time. So that's going to be just a pure slap fight.
And we need a rematch with Super Heavies from our 30K game.
Yes, we do. So yeah, that's my hobby progress. Aside from picking up some Assault Marines, so I can add them to the narrative game that we're gonna play, and
A Rhino?
a Rhino, just because I needed another one,
Jump packs.
and jump packs that Jesse McGibney, internet sweetheart, gave me, so I can swap out the turbine ones. So yeah, that's my hobby progress. I've been a busy little bee.
Sweet. I'll go next. Because I was in Ohio, I had to finish up those Dark Angels, and so if you're tuning in on Twitch, you can see all the pictures of the stuff we're talking about every Tuesday if you're listening to this on iTunes or otherwise. And yeah, so I was really excited about that. They ended up just, I feel like they look pretty sweet. Just this nice, like, dark angel-y feel to them. I had to paint them to match his other Dark Angels that I painted for him a while ago, and I had some fun. Just the plasma glow worked in really well. I did up the lieutenant in like a sweet, like how do I describe it verbally for somebody?
I don't know. You can't see the pictures.
It's kind of like a earth sky non-metallic metal type thing, but more like a power sword look to it.
I'm looking them up.
Yeah,
That worries me.
so
Don't. Where is he? Oh yeah, no, that's totally like a.
Oh yeah, I like that. I'm playing this army on Friday with my unpainted orcs, so it'll be funny.
nice. Yeah.
So if you're not looking at the pictures, it's very glassy. It looks shimmery. You could almost describe it if you were on eBay as pro painted. Marco was messaging me today, just being like, "I'm trying to find a Custodes Dreadnought, and I really need to have a sit-down talk with what the term pro painted means."
It's crazy.
It doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything.
No,
clearly,
no. It's been hijacked and.
Yeah, it's bad.
yeah. Bad news bears.
So, and then I just Monday night after we were total zombies from getting off the plane back from Ohio, because we had a layover, which really extended that day out a little bit. I painted a little bit more on those Shadespire Chaos dudes. Yeah, so nothing notable to talk about with that, other than had some fun with the airbrush and their skin tone a little bit. And
Nice.
Working with like the translucency of like thin airbrush layers and like having that go over top of other things to create neat colors and tones and stuff. So just experimenting a little. So it was fun. Nick, what do you get up to?
Been really busy the past couple weeks. Sunday, I finally got a chance to sit down and basically built the start of my kill team for the kill team event, which was 3 orc bikers and an orc biker knob. And I gotta say, I love that kit. There's so much really cool character in it. It just feels orcs. Like the bikes look like they should work.
Yeah.
Like they've got the gear, they've got the drive assembly, they've got like the throttles on the handlebars. There's like shocks for the front things. But then a lot of stuff is clearly just like bolted on rusted metal, and it looks so cool. Like one of the guys is like holding a chain up in the air, like ready to hit things. Another guy's got a whole bunch of gears screwed onto a pipe, and he's going to hit somebody with it.
Nice.
And then a pipe with a whole bunch of like an actual like elbow joint on the end of a plumber's pipe with a whole bunch of spikes sticking out of it.
Hey man.
And it just looks super cool. They're not the most competitive, but I think they're going to be hilarious and fast and super killy in Kill Team, because they're also orcs, right? So you're moving 14 inches, charging 2d6, re-rolling failed charges.
Yeah, they still get it done.
Yeah.
Is there any way to advance and charge if your war boss is close by, right?
Yeah, there's no war bosses in
Okay,
Kill Team.
yeah, so-
But yeah, if you put your war boss on a bike and I think you're automatically advancing 6 if you're on a bike.
Yeah.
Right? So you're going 20.
Well, at least Space Marine ones.
Yeah, I think the orcs have something similar.
Yeah, cool.
But no, it's just a cool little thing. Yeah, it was just fun. It's been a long time since I've sat down and built a kit from scratch. And it was fun just getting in there, clearing all the mold lines off. really getting into that mindless hobby space where you're just like, mold lines, sandpaper, glue together, go. Follow direction. It's all good.
It has been a long time since I just assembled some plastic models.
Yeah, I mean, you got the Assault Marines there. It's fun.
Yeah.
It, like, takes you back to, like the roots of the hobby. It was just cool to do because, like, it doesn't take that much concentration. It's not like painting. So, like, I was just able to sit down, watch Bob's Burgers, and do it. While
And it's not nearly as stressful as building resin.
No, not at all. It's super easy. There's a lot more mold lines in plastic.
Yeah.
Honestly, I broke a sweat painting Dorn because I thought I glued something on wrong. I was like, whoa, no.
No.
But luckily I didn't, and I lived to tell the tale.
Beauties. So, that was quick.
Yeah, it was really quick.
That's what happens when we don't do much.
Yeah. Do we have game? We need to play. Who wants to have? No, I don't. I got stuff to do Saturday.
I'm playing Phil Friday. I'm hoping to get a Horus Heresy game in on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm in Hamilton all day Saturday.
Where's Hamilton?
It's out yonder. I'm gonna go to a Bulldogs game.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you mean Ticats?
No. Bulldogs is their like hockey team.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so it should be fun. Go do that. Then we're interviewing a singer for the band and shit like that.
Out there as well?
No,
Oh.
I got a long, dumb day of travel. So, anyways, that's. I guess that's the first part. Save that for the second part.
No, we got 4 more. We're gonna do this
holy
now.
Smokes!
Oh.
All right, we're doing another one.
So this is Henderson's Cup.
What's in your cup?
It's the Ides of February, isn't it?
It is the Ides of February. So every month, Henderson's does a new beer. They're always fantastic. This one was special to me because I was involved in when it was launched, and it was awesome. So I'll read the proof. So remember the incredible 1942 bowling rivalry between Toronto's own Tommy Sutcliffe and Jimmy Morris from Hamilton?
No.
The one finally settled by a 20-game showdown? Yeah, we thought not. But this town loves a friendly contest in whatever pastime, so we thought it would be fun to host our own. Homebrewing is in our DNA, so we decided to launch the Henderson Cup as a way of celebrating Toronto's homebrewing community. So this was the second annual Henderson's Cup, and it was open to anyone living in the GTA, and they received hundreds of entries, which were pared down to just 10 finalists. The winner of the finals was then invited to do a collaboration brew inspired by their winning beer with the Henderson Brewing team.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for
What
a
a
home
treat.
brewer, like being able to brew, like, and you've seen their system.
Yeah.
Being
Top
able
notch.
to, being able to brew a beer on a pro system. So this year's champion was 2017 GTA Brews Brew Slam Toronto Brewer of the Year.
Holy shit! They didn't make that easy, did they?
Mike Vandervoort. Mike's been learning about experimenting with and enjoying homebrewing for 4 years, and now he's clearly gotten the hang of it. Together we brewed a New England IPA bursting with Citra, Mosaic, and Amarillo hop flavor and aroma, including notes of orange, grapefruit, and tropical body, with plenty of oats for a creamy, pillowy body. And I went there for the launch party, and they were giving out free samples of this and free pulled pork sandwiches. And it was bad, because this is...
8%.
Yep. This is 8%. And
It smells really fruity.
it's fantastic. So we'll just do a quick sip and review before we sign off on our main topic.
Wow, it's really unassuming for 8%.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
like, you drink 3 of these and they tell you it's 8%, and you're like, oh no, I'm Nick.
This is what Paul's entire life is like.
It's got a big, bitter bite to it.
Yeah, but a nice like
Interesting.
sweetness too.
Really fruit forward.
It definitely is.
What do they classify it as? Like, what kind of beer?
I think they said it was a New England IPA.
Yeah, it's not one of those IPAs that the hipsters totally ruined with too much hops.
Yeah,
This is rich coming from a guy that looks like a hipster sitting next to a guy that looks like a hipster.
yeah. You're both you're wearing a Star Wars shirt and you're wearing a Figs of Doom.
Since when did
Rigs
Star Wars
of
become
Doom.
hipster? It's like the most mainstream thing in the world.
I know, but that shirt's from the 70s.
It's owned by Disney.
This thing was totally not from the
I know,
70s.
but it's trying to be from the 70s.
Yeah.
See, my thing is, my shirt says Rigs of Doom, and then has a bunch of tube amps and a big pile of skulls.
Oh, I thought it said Figs of Doom.
No, that's...
Figs of Doom.
No. This is metal as hell. It's got a bunch of St. Peter's crosses on it. It's dope.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, enjoy this musical break and ads from our other sponsors.
I guess we stop now.
Battle Brothers Studios, a commission painting service passionate about making your miniatures and your gaming table look great. Our philosophy at Battle Brothers is this: your army is our army. Every model will be something you can be proud to show off. Send us a message on facebook.com/Battle Brothers Studios for a free quote and make that dream project come to life. We also have something special planned for the release of 8th edition of 40K. Right now, get 20% off if you commission us to paint an 8th edition starter set, or get a 10% off Army Bundle bonus for painting up your new 8th edition 40K Army. Inquire with us on Facebook for full details.
G'day. How are you now? Tried to paint a mini the other day. Realized my brushes were drier than a Saskatoon field in May. So I did what any reasonable man in his mid-30s would do, and I hopped over to thewarpainter.com to resupply. Thewarpainter.com is Canada's greatest hobby store for all things hard to find. Scale 75, Broken Toad, The Army Painter, and Valet Ho. All supporters of Encounter Wargaming get 10% off their first order with the code EWG10. They got you covered.
And we're back to FMK.
Redux. First Blood.
Yep. First Blood Part 2. Or First Blood Part 2. If you remember the Charlie Sheen one.
Yeah, it was a funny movie.
That was a great movie. I love those as a kid. But so I think we explained this before. Maybe we did right off the top. This is a place where you throw your weird, dumb questions. The stupid stuff that you thought about 30 or 40K.
I mean, just the fun things.
Just the fun times.
Everything. Fluff, hobby,
Yeah.
like the actual rules, gaming. You can like pit different models, units together. Doesn't matter. Probably going to get the questions wrong. We're going to get the answers wrong for sure. We're not experts.
Well,
We just have a camera and a recorder.
Yeah.
We've never claimed to be experts. You
It's a
guys
good
listen
start.
to us. I don't know why.
Shh, let's not pull that thread.
So today's format is kind of like we each, same as last time, we each kind of took 2 out of the basket questions. I think a few of them are going to be pulled from the Facebook thread that we posted in the Hogtown Club,
Yep.
asking for inspiration, and but we're gonna stray from that a little bit as we go along.
Oh,
But that's kind of the basic template.
Yeah.
2 questions each, and just kind of answer them, ask them of each other,
Yeah.
see what happens.
So this is a good one because it's going to make you think. It's a little bit about your own personal history in the hobby.
Mm-hmm.
I have a funny story attached to my answer, but I want to hear your guys' answer. What was the first 40K mini you ever painted?
Oh.
Nice.
So yeah, Paul, why don't you? Whoever remembers first.
I think mine it would have been a bunch of blisters of Imperial Guard bought in Cornerbrook, St. John's. And there was 2 Valhallans, one with a melta-gun.
I remember that model.
Yeah, he's like really forward. And the weird way that the blisters worked then, it would be a special weapon and a guy with a last gun. That would be the blister pack.
It was hard to be an Imperial Guard player back then.
Oh, it sucked so much. But yeah, it was that and a Catachin plasma gun. And yeah, I think those were like the first 4 models that I painted.
You remember how you painted them?
Really badly with testers. With testers and enamel paints.
Yes, shiny guard.
Oh, it sucked. Oh, it was so bad. And like, I remember I had an Inquest magazine that like detailed how to paint models, and I was like, I'm not doing this at all right. What's going on? And it just turns out that I was using an enamel paint that would have been great for China or mugs or maybe a model airplane.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I know I've definitely painted models before this, but these are the models that I can remember painting and have like fond memories of painting. So my first army ever was Space Orcs back in the day. That's what they were called. And I can remember sitting in the upstairs, my bedroom of my parents' house, painting the box of 10 plastic goth boys with the squatty potty stance, the big axe, and the 3-horn helmet.
Yeah.
And a little bolt pistol, because everybody carried the same weapons back then.
You could have Space Marines with Shrek and catapults.
Would have been dope. Is that why they have the same profile as Lats? Never mind.
So back then, if to follow up your second question, how did you paint them? It was just straight base coats, but I actually went and hand painted the checker pattern on their shoulder pad.
Ooh.
And was like super impressed with myself because I guess it came out all right. But
Yeah, well, I mean, you did it.
yeah,
Awesome. Yeah, so I remember it was grade 7. I'd started grade 7 at a new school. Made a friend, Matt. I don't know if you've ever met Matt. He's come out to a couple things. He lives in BC now. One of my oldest friends.
Yeah, I met him at Duffy's.
Yep. And so yeah, he was really into the hobby. He had a big Eldar army, and I went over to his house, played a couple games, a couple times. Really like the epitome of garage hammer. Like I remember our one friend basically made a tank out of styrofoam and toilet paper tubes, and then stuck a whole bunch of grots in the bottom, and was like, "It's a orc hover tank."
Amazing.
It's a hover tank. But yeah, so I didn't know where to purchase them, didn't really know what was going on, and Christmas that year, my mom bought me an actual tactical marine set, and it was the one that had like the banner, like the sticker banner.
Yes. Was it the first 3rd edition multi-part?
Yeah, because it was plastic.
Yeah.
It was the one where you had to clip the grip off the bolters.
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
That
I
was
was like, what?
how do I do this?
Why don't these models go together? I have to cut a part off?
Yeah,
That was-
because back then you had to twist them out of the sprue because you didn't actually have any clipper tools.
Yeah.
yeah.
those were that's like the kit that made Games Workshop.
Oh, yes, definitely. It was, yeah. So that was the start of that, but I painted them with, for some reason, I don't know what my dad had in his workshop, but it wasn't enamel paints. It might have been oil paints or house paints or something. Wood stain, something.
They just painted the deck, and you're like, ooh.
They were not painted well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the first 40K model I ever built and painted. Was a Space Marine Tactical Squad.
Nice.
No idea where those models ended up.
You probably don't need to find them.
Nope.
Nanomizer in the chat had a good question, which is a really quick one to cover. What's the best or your favorite hobby tool?
Paul.
But for real.
Games Workshop clippers.
Really?
Yeah. I've had them for about, the old ones with the black handle, not the wood.
Mm.
The wood ones, I've had them for years. If I can't find my toenail clippers, sometimes I use them to clip my toenails.
That's super gross, and I...
But no, they're
Come on, we've all done it.
yeah.
No, we have not.
Well, I've done it.
Yeah, I've done it too.
You guys are frigged in the head.
You know when the side of your toenail starts digging into the skin, so you can get in there, make sure you don't get an ingrown toenail? They're lifesavers, man. Anyways, yeah, they're awesome.
I can't deal with this.
I wasn't going to tell anybody until Nick outed himself.
I was gonna... oh my god. Clay shapers. They're really good if you're just getting into green stuff. They're essentially brush handles with silicone tips, and you can get chisels, or Adam has a bunch right here. You can get chisels or cones or they're great. They go a long way to help. Adam has the black ones, which are the stiffest, and if you can get the light gray ones, they're also the ones that are less rigid. Those are excellent for sculpting folds as well. Yeah, so I think if you're getting into sculpting, grab a set of clay shapers. 100%.
I use just an X-Acto knife straight up all the time.
That's fair. Simple. Simple done well.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a
Like mold lines, sculpting things. It's just like, it's the easiest, readily available tool on my desk. And those are the ones? Or no?
yeah.
Those are not ones I've ever used to clip my toenails.
Okay, the black ones right there.
That's it.
Yeah, you're gross.
But yeah, straight up hobby knife. It's so good for everything and a diversity of things, including not just hobby things, but the wife will come in and be like, help me with this, and half the time it's a hobby knife problem.
Yeah, do you guys like using like the slider
Nope.
X-Acto knives?
No.
No, you use the other ones?
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Here, I'll show you mine. I got back in the day, Games Workshop put up this hobby set that had a carrying case. It was meant to be like a
nice.
I don't know, just a project thing. I had like a mini vise in it too.
Oh,
yeah, I remember that guy.
To do like conversion stuff and like a little bone saw, a couple files, and the hobby knife, the handle on it's fantastic that came in that set. Everything else is long gone because I hate actually filing models like with files.
I use sandpaper.
Really?
I avoid it at all costs.
Me too. I just hobby knife everything.
I just hide those parts.
There's
Purity
a-
seals.
if it- I agree. Like most of the times, they'll try and scrape it clean, but sometimes if it's like a rounded edge, I find like really fine grit sandpaper gets in there. Back when Tristan was part of the club, we recently saw Tristan, by the way, which was good to see him.
Yeah, it was like seeing Bigfoot.
But he did a.
Croissant.
I'm pouring the beer, I guess.
Croissant. Wait, did we kill the...
Yes.
Oh, Frag.
So he did an order from Felder, which is a German carrying case company. They
Oh,
they
right.
make carrying cases for handguns that they realize they can sell to a different market of really expensive tiny things called war game miniatures.
Hey, man.
So he did a big order. I know Connor got a carrying case off of them as well. And he just mentioned that he was part of a wargaming club, and they sent over like little tiny dice bags, pencils, and the best X-Acto knife. Like I still have it.
Cool.
And it's one of those retractable ones, but it's German steel, and it's probably made by decent Krupp. It's good.
Cool. Well, that answers that question. What are we drinking?
This is Fêche la Vache.
Actually,
Cow
Yeah.
stuff.
This is no, it's a Monty Python joke.
is it?
Yeah, remember when they go to the French castle and they're making fun of the French person, and the French person's like, I fought in your general direction, and they're like, storm the castle, and they're like, Fêche la Vache, and they launch the cow by a catapult at them.
Yeah, that's why I said cow stuff.
Also, it had cows in the picture.
He does this all the time. Says I'm wrong and then just agrees with me. It's like he's gaslighting me all the time.
Just wait to get married.
Well, he
And
never
while
says
you
yes.
are fêcheing la aforementioned vache, why not grab a beer? Specifically, this bière right here. A spritzy, snappy, golden, and effervescent dry hop French-style farmhouse saison to be exactement. After you've filled your vessel of choice with this beaucoup drinkable saison, kindly permit us to cheers in your general direction.
Cheers.
Aucune vache n'a été blessée pendant le brassage de cette bière.
Cool. So what's with these
Bonjour.
local craft breweries watching Monty Python?
Everyone watches Monty Python.
I think it's because
Fair
they're
enough.
friggin' nerds.
Must be.
That's a good beer.
Oh shit, yeah it is.
It is.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's
actually,
nice.
when you were reading that description, I was like, that is bang on. The part where it actually just described the experience of it.
Yeah, because it does have that like effervescence to it.
Yeah, it's what do you call it? Carbonated without being like the big bubbles of like a Coca-Cola or something.
Yeah.
Tastes like a banana.
What?
No,
I'm getting banana.
You're allowed.
Like that's
So my
not taste like a banana.
taste. Yeah, it's true. There's a difference between notes of banana and a banana.
So my parents are total wine snobs, and like kind of taught me a little bit when I was young, like how to like drink wine and like what to pull out of it and all this kind of stuff. But then I went through this huge rebellious teenager phase, and we didn't talk for a long time, and so I discovered beer and all these other fun things, and, and then when I started hanging out with my dad again, who was like a big wino, it's every time now it's, I'm getting blackberries and chocolate, and a little smoke, mostly like woody smoke, and he's just like, oh, nice. But every single one. There you go.
In high school, my dad is big into Scotch, and I emptied half of his bottle of Scotch into a water bottle to take to a party, and this was like a $190 bottle of Scotch.
Ooh.
I would tear your arms off.
Well, that's why you're not a father, and I hope you never are, because he obviously found out. He's like, Scotch doesn't look this watered down usually. Usually you do that after you take a sip of it. And I'm like, what? And he's like, we're going to do a Scotch tasting. And like laid out all the different Scotches he had, and he'd be like, try this one. What does it taste like? Burnt wood? He's like, okay, all right. Pours a little bit of water in there. Distilled water, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Swirl it around. What does it taste like now? Watered down burnt wood.
Okay, I wouldn't tear off my child's arms. I would tear off your arms.
I were my father. You made that joke so many times.
I have. At this point, it's not even a joke. It's just more gaslighting. I never really stole booze from my parents.
They just give it to you?
No, I didn't drink until, I was 17. And at that point, I was hairy as hell. So I was like, I will have some beer, shopkeep. And they'd be like, very good. There is a troll in the northwest woods.
At a certain point, I just convinced my grandmother to buy me 2 fours of Smirnoff Ice.
Smirnoff Ice?
Oh!
When I was 15.
Oh, when was your bat mitzvah?
Yeah. We didn't do those.
I remember doing that for a high school party once. Just convincing someone to hey, go buy 3 2-4s of Smirnoff Ice, and just having the worst time.
Oh, no.
That's like how we taught ourselves how to drink. Drop that stuff, and it's so bad.
Don't like that.
You mix it with bad beer, it's not that bad.
It's called a rocket.
Smirnoff Rockets.
Ew.
All right, Paul, have you asked a question?
Yeah, man. All right, so this is more of a fluff fun question. Who would you cast in your Imperial Guard or Death Watch movie?
I'm ready for this. I got a list of names. So I would do the Marine Squad in Aliens.
Oh yeah, just like Hicks and Vasquez and.
You got it. I had to Google up the names because I don't have a brain like these guys do for movies and characters. And so here we go. Let's just read them out. Hicks, Corporal Dwayne Hicks. Bishop is the android. Burke, Sergeant Apone, Private Vasquez. She's a classic.
Oh yeah,
she was like, I remember. This is actually what got me into Necromunda. I'm
so glad that ended with Munda. Go on. Sorry.
I walked into Games Workshop and I saw a dude who had a Van Sar gang made out of Space Marine Scouts, and somehow he converted up a chick with a heavy bolter and called her Vasquez, and I was like, that is sweet. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. So and they were just looked like they're having such a fun time on this like amazing multi-level terrain, which back then like Games Workshop didn't have all these cool kits, right? So everyone's making like single level ruins and cool hills and stuff, but it was not what it was. And so these Necromunda guys just had the best tables, and I was like, this is combining 2 of my favorite things right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And so who else we got? We got Lieutenant Gorman, Private Hudson,
came over, man.
Private Frost.
Oh, I don't remember. Like half of these. No, Frost was the black dude. Yeah, because I remember. Also, they had like a line of Mattel toys for like Alien and Aliens, which is a really weird sell because like it's kids that are seeing. You're trying to sell toys of a movie that is either penis monsters in Vietnam or a flying haunted house in space. And you're trying to be like, hey kids, buy those toys.
And they're all rated R.
All super rated R.
They're so good. I recently rewatched Aliens. It's good.
Those are my favorite science fiction movies.
Even number 3?
Even number 3, where everyone's dressed like they're wearing Kanye's fashion. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 wasn't as bad as people said it was. It wasn't like the same. It was a different movie.
Yeah, but anyways, well, we can talk about that on Inches of Cubes, Alien, Quadrilogy.
Sweet, so that's my answer.
Oh man. What about you, Nick? What you got?
So just thinking, like, Adam sparked something in my brain, and one of the coolest movies I remember watching when I was younger was Black Hawk Down.
Yeah, okay.
Because it had like a whole bunch of characters that, because everyone had the same haircut, like the military style haircut, you didn't recognize them until you saw them in the credits, and you're like, oh, these are believable soldiers. So like, you had people like Josh Hartnett, the Heartthrob. Ewan McGregor was in that movie. Like these would be
was
like
Legolas.
Yeah, I was gonna say Orlando Bloom,
Really?
Yeah,
Tom Sizemore, and then
He
you
falls
get
out of the Black Hawk.
and then you get into people like Tom Hardy was in this movie. Like these are all people that would make great Marines, great Death Watch Marines. Eric Bana.
So just like white guys with strong jaws.
Yeah, well, I mean it's 40K, so they're usually all white.
Okay. See, because like the way I would do like just tough as nails Imperial Guard veteran squad having to deal with a commissar who was like sort of on their side, but also like a bit of an asshole. So you would have Hugo Weaving as the commissar.
Yeah.
You would have Josh Brolin as a squad sergeant. He's gonna die in the first third. Then you got Idris Elba as the guy who takes over the platoon after the squad after the sergeant dies, and the Planetary Governor, who kind of sucks, but then like redeems himself but dies anyways in the third act. Stephen Fry.
I like it.
Right?
I guess Stephen Fry's like the perfect kind of like lovable goof who like, could be a noble person who should not be given power.
Exactly, but there is a scene where he's like, oh no, the palace has been stormed, and like in his desk is a shotgun, and he like goes out shooting guys.
Or just holds a grenade bouquet.
Or, it's 40K, so I don't know, lightning claws? Tell me you wouldn't pay $14 to see Stephen Fry cut up a bunch of dudes with lightning claws and then die.
I wouldn't. I haven't gone to the movies in months.
Me either. I'm going to go to I, Tonya on Friday, I think.
I, Tonya?
It's a movie about Tonya Harding.
Oh!
So anyways, that's my Imperial Guard movie. And like, I don't know, yeah, that's...
Cool.
It's Stephen Fry as the Planetary Governor, though.
Yeah. So I can't remember if we talked about this during the break or on the podcast because it all kind of blends together. Just a super simple question. What is the most points you could field of one faction right now? Fully painted.
Imperium and Chaos don't count as faction keywords.
No.
Oh, it's gonna be Space Marines.
Yeah, it's good. It's Space Marines.
And it's gonna be, I don't know, I think like...
But how many points?
Yeah, if I combine Primaris and the 30K stuff, maybe 5,000 or 6,000 points now.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm probably up at like 5K.
Yeah, I'm about the same for Chaos. Probably. Well, I mean, I can do 2K of just super heavies, so that's 3 models.
Yeah, I can do 700 points of a Typhon.
Yeah.
Which will be finished by, hopefully, next podcast, but I'm committing to podcast after next.
Because you can't eat this one.
No. No, I'll die. That much resin in my tummy?
I'm not worried about your tummy.
It's not going to get the chance to go anywhere further.
Cool. So here's my question. I think this will be fun. How do we think technology, and this is care of Liam from our Facebook post, how do we think technology is going to affect the hobby in the next 5 years?
It's going to. A lot.
Thanks.
Great. I think in the next 5 years, I don't know if I'm going to, maybe this comes from the fact that, I've been in startups for a long time, up until recently, but, it always feels like we overestimate the effect of technology in the short term and underestimate it in the long term. So I don't think it's going to have a huge change right now in the next 5 years, but I think in the next 15 you're going to see wholesale, like I don't know if this,
Yeah, like 3D printers aren't going to take over the industry in 5 years.
right,
Unless there's a breakthrough, which sometimes there is.
yeah,
Yeah, it's weird because, like, think back to 5 years ago. That was 2013. Think back to the quality, like the difference in quality. Let's ignore the Space Wolf Forge World models, of models that have been put out by Games Workshop and Forge World since then. So since 2013, Forge World and Games Workshop, I think, stopped doing actual sculpts and started doing computer modeling.
like your prestige models are hand sculpted. Like
Yes.
Dorn, your Primarchs. Your...
Yeah, oh, definitely. But I don't think the Mark III Marines or
No.
like the newer stuff coming out on Forge World, and that's in the past 5 years. So I think, to Paul's point, I think we always think like technology is going to make huge leaps and bounds, but really on the basic level, it's going to affect things that we don't really notice, like processes and systems.
If I were a betting man, depending on the ubiquity of 3D printers in the next 5 to 10 years, I think what you're going to see is you won't buy as many models from a shop, and you might end up licensing designs and having those printed for you on a per demand.
I think that's beyond 5 years, but yeah,
Yeah,
I can
like,
see that happening
but
for sure.
I think that is a model now,
Yeah.
for like small pieces,
Mhm.
and like I've kind of like looked into it, and the quality is just not there because like I've wanted Space Marine heads that look like Mads Mikkelsen and Dwayne the Rock Johnson, because those are beautiful men that I want tiny heads of, but I just don't. Yeah, like, I think that would be a really interesting way for a game company to do that, and I think the first one that does it is going to make the news.
I think something that Games Workshop's always been missing, especially with things like Battlescribe and Quartermaster and all those programs coming out, is, and this you might see this in the next 5 years, is a move away from the Codex as we know it. You might still have the fluff books, but it would make sense, to me at least, to have sort of a Games Workshop army builder app that you pay for, and then you pay for downloadable content. So you buy the framework, and then you buy the Space Marine Codex, and you buy the data files for each different faction.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe the data files come with
The model.
or the Codex,
Like-
or the model, yeah.
Scan a bar that said you bought the model, and
Like old WoW scratch cards.
there you go.
Like, yeah, something along those lines. I do think that you're going to see more of an ebook model for the codices. Like,
Yeah.
it just has to happen.
And it's awesome because they can go in and change it.
Yeah, it's super easy.
Except when they don't change it. Like when I was playing Phil at our big November tournament, he buys all the ebooks. I download the PDFs because I'm a bad person. But he buys the ebooks, and we're all under the assumption that the ebooks get updated. Right?
Yeah.
They don't.
No, they don't.
Because he had the Chaos one, which said that when you summon a unit of lesser demons, you have to place them within 12 inches of the summoner.
Yeah.
Not wholly within. Within. The version I had, which was the latest one, said wholly within. Which is a huge difference when you're trying
Yeah,
to summon a
big
big blob of guys.
So, from the back end, having seen how an ebook company works, they'll only update your library if you request it, and there's a reason.
Yeah.
As a customer.
Oh, for sure.
Provided that it's like if the wrong file ships, they'll just do it and you won't even know. The most high profile, you can find great news stories about how Amazon did that, but the thing they did it with was a copy of 1984, right? Where it's like, here you go, bored tech writer, there's your headline.
That's
yeah.
too funny.
Oh, it's so good. It made me very, very happy to see.
Yeah. I would like to see... no, I wouldn't like to see that. It'd be cool to see more video games focused on the actual tabletop element, but then I realized that takes away from the actual tabletop element.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need games that simulate what we're doing on the table.
No.
We're doing that enough. But things that get us excited about doing more tabletop stuff are always good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think just that you're going to see an increase in quality of models, which has just been probably one of the biggest things you're going to see over the next 5 years.
Yeah, like Games Workshop has really been pushing what models can do. Celestine is a pretty good example of like the upper limit of
The Incarn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the upper limit of like what you can conceivably do and still have as a game piece.
Just being able to have those like super dynamic models that have something going at all angles, up and down, left, right, what do you call it, front and back. All the directions on the axis, the 3D
the
axis.
XYZs.
XYZs, there you go.
It is interesting, like, looking on your shelf there, Adam. You've got Horus Lupercal. You haven't finished painting him, obviously. Next to a fully painted Gilliman.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to finish Dorn before you finish that guy.
But you can see, like, the details on Horus are much crisper.
Yeah.
So, I think we're going to see, with technology, plastic being able to emulate some of the stuff you can do with resin that you can't do with plastic right now.
But, like, in comparison-wise, like, the way the plastic is compared to the way plastic was...
Oh, yeah, way better.
...is significantly better.
So this is a good question that comes from our youngest listener, Caleb. And he wants to know, what model or models would you like to see resculpted? His example is he'd love to see the Chaos Space Marine resculpted with more of a Dark Eldar or Tyrannid style. So, like, more dynamic and I guess more segmented armor. So, what would you want to see resculpted?
After watching and seeing what they did to the Death Guard, love to see a new sculpt of Noise Marines.
So his follow-up question was, Nick, would you buy modern sculpts of classic Noise Marines with electric guitars?
Why aren't I getting these messages? Let me see this.
So, yeah.
Yeah. No, I definitely would. Electric guitars, not really, because that's kind of not in line with the fluff that they are anymore. I do have the old electric, not the electric guitar model, but I've seen them before.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's how they started, right? In 30K, what is it? The Fulgrim book? Like, that's exactly what they were.
Nope. They were wind instruments.
They were orchestral instruments.
Yeah.
I don't even think they say it's that specific, but...
All I know is that Julius Kaiseron started rubbing his instrument, and then it started firing sonic energy at people.
Yeah, regular, non-metaphorical stuff. Don't draw any other conclusions from that. That's a really good one, Caleb. What about you, Adam?
I mean, Abaddon's probably a good one.
Bastard took mine.
Core Berserker. I mean, there's so much in the Chaos range. So it's just still from the 80s. It's like, guys, come on.
Yeah, like the Core Berserker kit needs to be redesigned.
Yeah, it does. It just seeing those Death Guard is like, look at the potential. And so, world out there, stop buying garbage models, because then they'll realize they won't sell no matter how good they make the rules, and then they'll be forced to redesign them.
Yeah,
but that'll never happen because we're not that popular.
Believe in the new Thousand Suns.
There you go.
They kept such cool elements of the old Thousand Suns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they nailed the design.
Yeah, 100%.
And Nurgle's aesthetic has always been pretty set.
Yep.
So they didn't have to reinvent the wheel there. But I really think that with the new Thousand Suns, they took elements that they've always wanted to do. Like those sorcerers are so good. Like the guy that's holding the staff, and it's like...
Oh, he's pointing it like a gun?
Yeah, he's pointing it like a gun. That is my favorite sculpt that they have done in a long time.
It's like Saruman just whipping Gandalf around.
Yeah, I'm just picturing a guy pointing at that at a tank, and the tank is now inside out and also made of beef.
Or a sheep.
Yeah. Bloop. It's a Wabbajack. Yeah, that's the kind of friggin' nonsense that I want Zinch to be. I don't want tentacles and stuff. I just want lunacy, top to bottom.
One time I was fighting a dragon in Whiterun, and I accidentally hit a bystander, what I thought was a bystander with a Wabbajack, and he turned into a chicken. But turns out he was like really integral to a quest later on that I couldn't complete because he stayed as a chicken.
Wah, wah.
Is that one of those games where you basically have to start over because you screwed that up?
No, it was just like one of those side quests where you're like, oh, I can get this really awesome armor. And it's like, find the blacksmith. And it's like, there's a chicken where the blacksmith should be, and I can't interact with them.
Oh, no. I love when you have, like, a big fight in a city, and then, like, 2 days later, a courier comes up and is like, your friend died. And you're like, oh, no. What have I done? But getting back to Caleb's question, I would love to see the Last Chancers resculpted in plastic.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite ideas. It's a penal legion of, like...
It's a what?
Penal legion. Grow up.
Never.
Thank you. It's a legion. It's basically the Dirty Dozen in space. And there we go. Has one of the few canonical female guardsmen. And yeah. Also has a model that looks suspiciously like Yul Brynner, and I love Yul Brynner, so this is obscene. Nick's
This beer is heady.
Yeah. So this is my favorite beer that Henderson's puts out.
Tell us more.
What is it?
It's the Rube Gold beer. And if you've ever had the opportunity to go to Henderson's, you might notice a complicated-looking contraption.
Yeah,
on
their
the wall.
back counter. Yeah.
And that's a Rube Goldberg machine, Adam.
Ooh,
And I made a Rube Goldberg machine in grade 8.
nice.
And a Rube Goldberg machine is you are trying to create the most complicated way for a simple task to be achieved. So it could be raising a flag, it could be doing like hitting a golf ball into a hole. And they're usually contests, so it's whoever can make the most mechanical transfers of energy to make this tiny thing happen. So pulleys, levers, gears, balls being shot out, that all counts as mechanical transfers of energy, and that's how you win the contest. So, Rube Goldberg was a cartoonist with a dream to illustrate deviously complex and impractical machines that perform simple tasks. Years later, inventor Jason Vincent dreamt of building his very own Rube Goldberg machine. Meanwhile, Jason's half-brother, Steve, also had a dream to one day open a brewery. Today, each of their dreams have come true, thanks to the Rube Goldberg beer bottle opening machine at Henderson Brewery in Toronto. It'll open your beer bottle, but it sure ain't simple. So this is a super weird contraption. If you pay $20, they'll put it. They'll set the whole thing up, put a bottle of beer in it, set a glass up, and I think the money goes to charity or something.
Yeah, half of it goes to the Christie Pitts baseball something or other for balls for kids.
And it's a hoot to watch because like they make everyone in the brewery shut up and they're like, pay attention, and everyone pays attention and cheers. And yeah. What does the brewmaster say it looks like?
A very complicated machine.
Yeah, you're right.
I like this beer.
Sweet.
It's very sweet, and like
that's my favorite, man.
Talking about your beginning years as like a wine person, it does have like a bit of a barnyardy pea smell, but not in like the bad way. Not in like the oh god, this smells like pee, but like it's like
Tiny bit of ammonia.
Yeah.
Like a good wine sometimes does.
Yeah. Like don't freak out, guys. God. Act like you've been here before.
But
I can't smell things, so
it's all right. Oh,
it's a great beer. When they have it on tap, it's even better.
So whose question is next?
was that? Did we all answer that one? Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
we totally did.
Remaking models. Okay, cool.
That's a pretty straightforward question. I think everyone's going to answer the same thing except for Adam. What is your least and most favorite color to paint? So, I'll go first. You guys can think, because I thought about my answer already.
Okay.
My least favorite color to paint, 100% white.
Nice.
It sucks. When you're painting big panels of white, it's awful. I figured it out how to do it. Still don't like doing it. It's not enjoyable. And you mess up how the shades go, it just looks awful. But my favorite color to paint is actually black. Like, I got... I just really like watching black pop.
Yeah. Once you, like, nail a good black recipe... Ooh-wee. Did I send you that one that's, like, turquoise?
No.
You told me about it.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite recipes for black. And, like, I've almost started a Raven Guard, like, force, like, 5 times after I saw this.
I mean, I started incorporating it into these guys, right? After you showed it to me?
Yeah, it looks like...
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's such a deep black, but, like, it's so dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much more interesting than... Excuse me. So much more interesting than just using grays.
Yeah, and
like,
do you mix this, Adam, or
That's black with Sotek green, I think it is. And then just bone mixed in for one more brighter one and some thin lines.
Yeah,
super cool.
Yeah, that
looks great.
Looks really smart. My least favorite color to paint is yellow.
So did you know that walking into that army, or did you decide that after you painted the Imperial Fist?
I did know that, but like while I was trying to decide, it was a toss-up between
Get the paint glove.
it was a toss-up between the Imperial Fists or the Word Bearers, and my favorite color to paint is red.
Oh, you were so close to being on my side.
I know. Because I knew that I wanted to play a legion that was integral to the story. That, like, it's not like it happened to them. They were active participants.
Okay, yeah.
So I wanted, like, either the Defenders of Terra or the shitty guys that were like, you know what's cool? Demons. Because First Heretic it's actually just a really good science fiction book. It's not like a good 40k book.
Is that the one where they go into the Eye of Terror?
Yeah, and they get demons, and like that was like such a compelling read. But then I realized, like, well, I painted a Red Army before. I did the 4th Company of the Crimson Sabers, and I was like, no, what I'm gonna do is something that I haven't done before, and I'm gonna push myself as a painter, and I'm gonna do the Imperial Fists. Because, like, I like Dorn. I like his taciturn nature. So, yeah, yellow is my least favorite, and that's why I forced myself to do it, so I could get good at it. And then red is my most favorite, because it's so easy. Like,
which is funny, because most people say that red's actually really difficult. But I found, and if this may be a good segue into mine, because it's actually one of my favorite colors to paint. Once you figure out how to do it, you realize how not difficult it is. But when no one's taught you how to do it, or you haven't watched any tutorials, it's actually really hard.
Yeah, like, you shade red with blue. Or you shade red with purple. Like, and that'll give you, like, a really rich, really, like, dynamic red.
Yeah, I mean, I base coat it with brown and work out from there, whereas most people just try and go straight red.
Nope.
On a model. So take a red pigmented brown like Rhinox hide, and do a straight OG workup.
OG. Red is super satisfying, and also once you realize that you can't highlight red by adding white into it,
yeah, without getting pink.
Yeah, your life gets so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, add yellow, add orange.
Yeah, I mean, even adding bone, it still gets pinky. It still gets
Yeah.
So
it's almost like you got to know your color theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meow. I actually highlight it with flesh colors.
Interesting.
Yeah, you've explained that to me before, and that does look really good.
Yeah.
Because it is pinky, but it gets that, like, pastel-y highlight that you want.
Yeah.
Which you like in your style, and I like in your style.
So our youngest listener has another question.
Oh, hold on. My least favorite color.
Oh, sorry, Adam.
Orange.
Oh, yeah. That's fair.
I had an individual he's a lovely guy, and he's had me paint many wonderful things other than this army, which was white and orange Tau. And this was right when I was getting into the airbrush, so the white became a little bit easier when normally, like, brush painting, it's actually really difficult.
Yeah.
but then the orange part I had to do by hand, and it's awful. Large flat panels of orange by hand, no good.
Don't want to do it.
Yeah, don't even want to try.
Cool. Next question.
Yeah, so Caleb, once again, our youngest listener. I hope he has his parents' permission.
Why is this becoming a thing?
I don't know. It's just a really funny thing to say. He's like, I think he's older than me. So
like 45?
500?
So with the Eisenhorn model out now, what other character from 40K literature would you like to see? Paul and I are going to have the same answer. Hansu?
Yeah, it's Hansu.
Definitely.
Who the heck is that?
Hansu is the best Iron Warrior.
He's the best bad guy.
So Fabius Bile was tasked with creating characters for the Iron Warriors, or not characters, people,
genetic enhancements.
And basically they stole some Iron Fist gene seed, and they were crossing it with
Iron Hands,
Imperial Fist. Sorry.
Okay,
stole Imperial Fist gene seed and crossed it with Iron Warriors, and he was like, "Guys, I bred you this great, this gene seed line. Here it is." And the Iron Warrior was like honorable. No, the Imperial Fist was like honorable Satuka or something. But like the container was broke, so it just became Hansu. And Hansu is like the best bad guy because he actually really likes the people under his like command. Like, it's not like wave after wave of expendable guys. He's like, no, you're all my friends, and we are like good, and like we get along and care about each other. We're going to put this entire planet on fire and kill all of these people. But we're pals.
But we're together.
Yeah, like, this is what we do.
Care Bear stare.
And, like, it's way more believable to have, like, a guy that, like, gives half a crap about the people around him. Also, there's, like, he fights with, like, Uriel Ventarius. And, like, one of the sergeant that's with Uriel had, like, a necrodermis arm. And Hansu was like, I'll have that. And he was like, what? And he cuts off the guy's arm and takes it. And he's like, oh no! So now he's got this, like, necrodermis arm, like Ferrus Manus had. And
Hansu's also was in charge of the Daemon Calabra.
Yeah. He was, like...
He's bad.
He got stuff done. Man. Like, he pushed into he, like, reburned Kelth.
Yep.
And, like, was just... nuts. And he hasn't been seen in a while, but he's just such an interesting character. He's kind of like
he's one of Abaddon's lieutenants, right?
I'm not sure about I just don't remember. But he reminds me a lot of like Huron, the way that he was portrayed in the Badab books.
Yeah,
where it's like, oh, you're not twirling your mustache, being like, I'm evil. It's more like
I was literally twirling my mustache when you said that
because you can't be a bad guy without charisma. You can't lead an army without charisma, without people liking you, without you liking people. If you're just going to kill everybody who does anything wrong, your army's going to fall apart really quick.
Like, I don't know, there's just this... He just seems to get the gravity of being a villain. Like, he's got that sort of, like, charming Crumbopulous Michael thing where it's like, here I go, kill it again. Like, he's like, well, that's just what I do. Anyways, Hansu is my answer all day long.
Yeah. I would agree with Paul. Yeah.
So, something that came to mind, I have my answer previous to seeing this question, but then the way this one was phrased made me think about some of the other really cool characters from the Eisenhorn trilogy, like Bequin, his psychic null that kind of travels around with him. And I forget the dude's name, but this dude was... he was just like... I don't know, kind of like the jock, like, kill everyone type of dude. And it would just be neat to flesh out that series. Kind of like a Last Chancer set, right? Like, do, like, the Eisenhorn set of his, like, little Inquisitor posse. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah, that would be dope as hell.
But then my official answer to this question previous to this was it'd be neat to see the rest of the Morn Evil. made.
Yeah.
In models. Like, it's just such a pivotal part of kind of Horus's inner circle, like a pivotal part of what was supposed to be his wise counsel, and they just they failed, you know, because of the way the thing worked with kind of like the secret society. I forget what they call it now, and Loken kind of being brought into that, and
the
not
warrior lodges. Yeah.
the lodges. That's it, and him like not really being about that, and it was just super interesting. So.
Refresh my memory. Is Loken Terran born?
Oh, that's a good question.
Or is he Chagoran?
Sithonian?
Sithonian.
Yeah, Chigoran was Scars.
Voice guys.
Yeah. I think he might be Terran born, yeah.
Also, before you mentioned Hansu, the one that I really wanted to see was oh god, what's her name? The Fleet Master.
I can't remember her name, but
the Fleet Master of the World Eaters.
Yes,
like I think we've had to talk about her on the podcast before, but she's like an admiral and like the captain of the flagship of the World Eaters, and she's like a human that Angron will be like, we have to do this, and she's like, no, I'm the boss of the ship.
Especially to Angron.
Yeah, and Angron's like, okay, like, and like he goes off, but then like she puts again like entire worlds to the sword, so people are like, oh, this lady gets it done. So like among the World Eaters, they totally believed her, and it's kind of implied that she merges with the ship.
Most Chaos captains do.
Yeah, so like I don't know how you would do that. Maybe just give it a Battlefleet Gothic special thing. But yeah, I think that would be a cool one, or like just more Navy characters. Because like every time
what would they do in game?
Reserve manipulation.
Okay. Yeah.
And
orbital
like,
bombardment.
orbital bombardments. Yeah.
Why would they be on the battlefield?
I don't know. Narratives. Like
Sure. Like they were down inspecting something and all of a sudden got ambushed. Or
yeah.
Yeah.
Or I got to see this for myself.
Yeah. Sure.
But yeah, like in Flight of the Eisenstein, I love the crew because it was just like, oh, we're gonna go through the warp, and the crew's like, oh god, here we go. And like, yeah, if an astropath has a model, it would be easy to get one of these things. Yeah. So what's our next question? How long have we been at this?
I mean, not too long. It's only 10:15.
Yeah, no, we've
Killing it.
only been talking an hour.
Great. This is funny. Okay, so Nanomizer in the Twitch chat. This is hilarious. Your greatest hobby shame. And he specifically says after this, as an example, do you play Hero Clicks?
No?
No, my greatest hobby shame is I haven't done it, but I am always tempted to just use like dice simulators. When it's like more than 20 dice, I'm like, I want to just bust out my phone and be like, look, 10 guys died.
Yeah, just like a randomized click.
Yeah, and like as soon as those things end up with a MIDI or like an audio file of dice rattling, I'm gone. I'm just a guy clicking buttons on his phone. What's your greatest hobby shame, Nicholas?
I don't know.
That's true. You barely feel shame at all.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's true. I really don't.
Okay. Great.
Oh, that got him.
Wonderful.
I got him.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Nope, he's not ashamed. What about you, Adam?
That's tough. Oh, man. Ordering Forgery World?
What? We don't do that.
That's true. We'd never. No, I can't lie. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not a big fan of that, but that's like the only way I can play that game. Like, seriously, there's no way. And I'm still gonna buy a 40K model, so yeah. I don't know.
Sorry, I'm looking for the Fleet Masters game. I can't find it.
It doesn't
And
matter.
then playing Connor with unpainted models 2 weeks ago. But I just had
did
to
you
do
it?
I had to do it. I had to get a practice game in. I had to remember the rules for it. I just like...
It's on record now. He denied it for 2 full weeks.
True. I'm not happy for you.
Well, I said it out loud, and then I just said there was no photo evidence, which there still isn't, so...
All right. So this is probably a pretty quick one. What painting technique do you guys want to try?
I really want to learn how to just do highlights better and in different ways.
Yeah.
That's
That's
good.
all.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah. I've always wanted to try... Well, okay, not always. In the last year, I've been tempted on many occasions to try making realistic icicles.
Really?
So that's not much of a painting technique, but
Yeah.
I just, it's closely related, so...
Yeah, it's a modeling technique, shall we say?
Yeah.
I think I want to learn how to use oil washes in weathering more.
That's kind of like the main use for that, actually.
Yeah, your pin washes are cool, but I want to learn how to use just
It's the blob it on and wipe it off. That's the big way to weather with it.
yeah.
And it's in the wiping it off, creating streaks and stuff.
Yeah.
It's so easy, man.
I'm sure it is. It's just intimidating. Or if not oil washes, like wood stains or just those kind of scale modeler techniques.
Yeah.
I would love to master those. And I just think maybe the Imperial Fists aren't the army to do it because I've got a pretty serviceable weathering scheme for that. But
no, that's like a new army project thing to do.
yeah.
You gotta, once you start an army, you have to keep your style consistent. I'm super picky about that. But once you start a new project, or if you're doing a small project like a kill team or a Shadow War thing, to try something new like that's the way to do it.
Yeah, because I follow a couple scale modelers on Facebook and Instagram, and
They're ridiculous.
in their dioramas, you're those Soviet or German soldiers look real. Those tanks look real.
People that use water effects to make water that is moving are witches.
Yeah, man.
like rushing water, not just flat.
Not just still ponds with a nurgling underneath. Like a friggin' river, and there's a boat. There's a Zodiac being shot at by a bunch of Russian dudes. I'm like, what? How? Why? Are you a witch? Have you always been a witch?
There's bullet sprays from the bullets.
Yeah,
in the
did
water.
you shrink these men? What has happened? It's just... Oh, no, that's witchcraft. So I can't learn it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And they just... you know what the problem is, though? Is they're their 2 months long project is painting that one thing.
Yeah.
Right? And so for us miniature wargamers, we're painting a whole army. Right? And so it's a totally different scope in a project. And so they just have the time to do that.
Yeah.
So it's tough. But that's not to say we should not learn and grow.
Oh, there's definitely a lot. I know Paul probably, you not either you did it on purpose or it's just that's how it came, but weathering definitely came out of the scale modeling stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, learning the salt chipping for the breachers was really cool. And it's the sort of thing that I realized, the limitations of not having an airbrush, because if I had an airbrush, I would have already leaned into, chipping fluids really well. Our man John Tung has used chipping fluids to great effect. And I, if I could even approach how good of a painter he was, I would be really happy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Basically, my answer is more like John.
Fair enough. So Caleb is just our amazing source of questions tonight.
Yeah, he's crushing it.
So Adam and Nick, do either of your significant others play 40K or any other nerd games?
Not in the slightest. My wife is totally diva, Southern Belle, nothing nerd. It's all weird except I love you, and so I'll never say anything bad about it type of gal. She's my Georgia Peach, no, she's never gonna do it. The closest she'll ever get is King of New York board game, and even at that, she doesn't enjoy playing that game.
Fair enough.
But she, yeah, board games, and she's super picky about board games. Is as close as it gets.
Yeah, no, Julie's not into like the nerd games at all, but she's super into to board games and stuff. Lots of card-based games.
Yeah, kind of like the fun party games things.
No,
right?
not even. Like last night we sat down and played Sequence, which was a really interesting strategy game where like, yeah, you have like 2 decks of cards and like all of the cards are on a playing surface.
Mat, right?
And like if you play a card, you then put down a marker on top of the card that's represented on the table, and you're trying to like connect 5.
Yeah. Oh, I played that once. It was fun.
Yeah, it is fun. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just good to have. I don't want her to play 40K.
Yeah, no, this is my time.
Yeah, this is my time. I like that she's great letting me do my own thing, but like this is my time.
Yeah. I tried to get Emily to into the photography side of it to help me out with some of the business stuff, and even at that, she got all super frustrated, and I was like, don't worry about it. But we also had a baby at the time.
That might have, that might be like a lot of stress.
Adam, I don't want to be the guy to tell you this, but you still have a baby.
Yeah, that came out wrong, didn't it?
I met your baby. I really like her. She's cool.
Careful what you say, Nick. I'm 22 in the chat.
Wait,
Julie's watching.
I told you guys like a couple episodes ago that like a girl I don't know. We don't have to figure that out. I don't want to do that on a podcast. But she was like, "What are you doing Friday?" I was like, "Honestly, I'm staying in painting models." She's like, "Can I paint models?" I was like, "Sure, if you want." Anyways, we didn't end up painting models. We like just watched Shawshank Redemption.
It's a good movie.
Super good movie.
It's a good movie.
Who's got some questions?
Hi, Julie.
Hey, Julie. Connor wanted us to pair the beers that we've had tonight with Primarchs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think obviously the Rube Gold beer is gotta be Logar.
I was gonna say Petrarabo because it's like all about like weird mechanical constructs.
No, but like think about all the stuff that had to go right for the heresy to work. That's Logar right there.
That's fair.
Obviously Henderson's best.
But Logar wasn't even like the man behind the machine.
You know, yeah. So this is Erebus.
Yeah, he's a name. Primarchs are named characters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Erebus.
Sure.
So Erebus is a Rube Goldberg.
Yeah.
Henderson's best is clearly Dorn because he's the best Primarch.
That's too simple. Fine, I'll let you have it.
No. I'll say it for a different reason. It's Dorn because it's just a standard good beer that being vanilla doesn't necessarily mean being bad. Simple done well.
Hey man, be the most vanilla you can be. Like it's the beer by which all other beers are measured. A beer is better or worse than Henderson's best.
Okay.
Yeah, we are.
I mean, like, not all beer on grand scale, but for Henderson's, we can say.
Listen,
like,
you realize that they sponsor us now, right?
Within its own meta, it's a good comparison.
Yeah, that's fair.
Beer meta. I'm gonna be saying that all the time. This is pretty good according to the beer meta. In the bar.
Henderson's Cup, I'm going to say, was Horus pre-heresy because it's bright, it's inviting, it's charismatic, if I can assign that quality to a beer, but it's also strong at 8%. It's deceptive.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I can go along with that.
Yeah, it sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
Remind me, the cow one, what was that one called again?
Fèche la vache.
And what did that taste like?
Beer?
Well, it's launch the cows, so...
No, it's get the cows.
Get the cows?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're going to be launched.
They are. Yes.
So I would say, in that case, it has to be our man, Perturabo.
Purdy.
Yeah, Purdy. Purdy's the only...
Just the artilleryman just launching
He's the
cows.
only Primarch that would have the gumption to be like, I'm gonna hurl cows.
It's true.
So there you go, Connor.
Why not?
Our second youngest listener.
Very special listener.
Our very special listener, Connor Colley.
You're not supposed to say his name live on the podcast.
Whatever, you can figure it out.
Yeah, it's just Connie.
Carney. Oh man, that was good.
That was pure gold when that came out.
That was like the second, third, fourth episode.
Yeah.
Really early.
Guys, do we have any other questions?
You do?
No? Does Dorn eat cats? I still don't know why you think I said that.
You definitely said
I
that.
sort of remember asking and like saying like, hey, yeah, my dude eats cats.
But obviously, because the meme I sent you this morning,
Yes.
it's a thing on the internet, and I didn't get Kitten Eater. I didn't make up Kitten Eater by myself. That was also on the internet.
Right, but I don't know where I heard it. Like, I have source amnesia for the idea of Dorn eating kittens.
Dorn eats cats. John, can you source that information for us, please?
Yeah, please. I feel like at times John is like the multi-fingered robots in
Ghost in the Shell?
Yeah.
Okay, here, somebody already got the answer for us. This is the Mango Sentinel on our Twitch stream, who's actually probably tuned in for...
It's John.
That's John?
Yeah. Our Ghost in the Shell. Like how the fingers just fly apart into other fingers. It totally makes sense if you've seen Ghost in the Shell, okay, guys?
It was even in the movie.
Was it? I watched the first like 20 minutes of that and I was like, no.
I liked it.
I didn't like how they did Bato. And like how Bato like lost his eyes in a fight. It's like, no, he got those when he was in like Central America doing
Bad things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know a lot
Yes.
about Ghost in the Shell. What of it?
Me
Such
too.
a
It's one of
Ghost in
my
the Shell
favorite
snob.
anime, man.
I do.
Like, yeah. Standalone complex and second gig.
Oh, so good.
So good.
Okay,
Tachikomas?
so to bring this back to what we were talking about, Dorn Eats Cats is a meme or inside joke from the Eye of Horus podcast.
Yeah, but where, like, how did it start? Like, there's got to be, like, a piece of fluff
You'll
that it started
you'll
from.
have to go listen to the episode and figure it out.
Do we have an episode number?
Yeah, John, give us an episode number.
Also,
It's probably so far in.
yeah.
that there's no tracing it back.
True. Also, if the Eye of Horus guys are listening, have me on your podcast. Not Nick or Adam, just me.
Well, Paul's not invited back if he goes on a podcast by himself.
Oh shit.
There is no inviting Paul back. He is the foundation,
I'm the,
as we all are the foundation of the podcast.
I'm the guy that edits.
Yeah,
That's true.
Exactly.
Do you have time to do this shit?
Yeah.
I barely do.
Oh, careful.
Who is
Careful
the
what you say, Nick. You might have to edit from that.
Who is the oldest listener?
I think it's...
Nick Wilkins. Sorry, Nick.
Yeah, that guy's old. He's got a baby. Like me.
That guy's
I'm
old.
old.
Marco, today, in the note that he threw in my order, referred to me as prehistoric. It was like, here's an old school Wraith model. I believe your prehistoric self may appreciate it. I was like, he's right, man. You didn't have to say it like that.
He's in the chat, by the way.
I know, he's such a good dude.
The tripod is the most stable. What?
Who's that?
Connor, he just wanted to say things.
Yeah.
So we're actually now interacting with our Twitch stream while recording the podcast. So let's, I guess, are we done with the Frag, Marry, Kill?
You got one more question.
Do we?
Yeah, it's something about some blue.
Oh,
commie
squishy fit?
weirdo.
Alright, first off, they're doing a good job making the blue commie fish weirdos less noble bright.
Yeah, they're not commie at all.
No, they're creepy fascist.
Also, sorry, just a PSA to counter a PSA that appeared in our Twitch chat. It's not called Dueling Grounds. We don't speak that name.
Who called it Dueling Grounds?
Randomizer.
Oh, Nano.
For shame.
I thought we were friends. JK, we are friends. So yeah, what do you think that Commander Farsight's sword is?
Oh, dude, okay, I totally remember when this book came out. I could have sworn it was a Catan face sword.
Well, like the design sort of looks Satan.
Catan, sure.
I don't know.
I mean, well, but that's like, I don't even think that.
But here's the thing, though.
When have we ever seen a Catan face sword before?
Lots of
Cypher?
time. Cypher has one. Used to be a thing
The
that
old model? Could you see it, though? Like,
no,
on his
it was
model?
a phase knife that he had
In a
as
holster?
no as war gear.
Also,
So it wasn't even in a holster on his model.
One of the assassins.
Okay. Yeah, so the assassins is the only other time you see it on the Calidus.
Yeah.
And it's this tiny little knife.
So what's a Satan face sword? Because that doesn't even make sense. Satan are made, unless you're like saying like, I have a sword made out of star god flesh. Actually, that makes a lot of sense, and that'd be super cool.
Here's the thing. That is exactly what it is.
Okay.
Because when Cypher, who had the aforementioned piece of war gear in 3rd edition,
yeah.
there's a short story where he's trying to assassinate a planetary governor, and he stabs the governor, and then his sword melts and is absorbed into the governor, and then the governor transforms into a deceiver. And he's like, oh no, the devil that eats stars, and then just kind of ciphers away. So, proving...
Smoke bomb!
Yeah, the only person that can out-troll the super troll is the god of trolls.
The god of trolls?
He's the god of trolls. His whole thing is like, lols.
Yeah, it could be Necron. I mean, we know that it eats the life energy of people that
He kills.
he kills.
And adds it to his own.
Yeah, which is why he's like 300 years old.
You'd think at 200 you'd be like,
Something's up.
I'm gonna go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Hey doc, I'm not dead.
Maybe you went to the fish doctor.
The vet. Is it a fish doctor? Is it a vet?
Yeah.
Alright. But, yeah, no, it's either that or chaos, but...
It's not Chaos, because it's way older than the Imperium and Chaos, I think.
And also, warp energy would have a hard time affecting any Tau creature. Because they have such a small warp signature.
It's true. Yeah.
So anyways, or it could just be some spooky space knife. That's
I
all.
mean, there's lots of races out there.
Yeah.
Well, it's settled.
It's subtle. We don't know.
Farsight's actually a cool character.
Yes.
I've always liked his weird, he rejects the. Because I was reading an article today on the Greater East Asia Co-Prosperity Sphere of the Second World War, which was Japan's be like, oh, Asia for Asians, during the imperialistic Japanese era, and so they tried to frame Korea and China, you're part of this greater thing, even though they were murdering and enslaving Chinese and Korean people during the Second World War, and that. To me, is what the Tau Empire is, right? Oh, sure, the Demurg and the Space Pandas and the Vespids are, benefiting from the Tau, Empire, but I don't think it's as hunky-dory and peachy as we think it is.
No.
Yeah.
I think the only ones that have any sort of political standing in the fluff are the Kroot.
Not even.
And, again, I think it is mostly ornamental.
Did you say pornamental?
Ornamental.
Oh.
I did not say pornamental.
But I that's why I actually never really liked the Tau, but lately in the last, Codex, they started hinting more and more at, the grim darkness that is the Tau Empire, and it's so cool.
Well, I think it's always been there, because, with a strict caste system, that lends itself to, an upsetting narrative
Yes.
very well, especially, if you're taking a caste system and selling it to, Western audiences. We don't truck with that.
North Americans don't, but...
Well, we don't need to get into it right now, because there's a whole socio-economic thing where we have a caste system, but we just don't talk about it. I'm just gonna drop in the sound of a bong being hit.
By the way, someone in the chat confirmed you totally said pornamental.
Did I say portamental? That's a pretty good one.
So, final call for questions from the Hutch audience or you guys for our podcast tonight.
I'm good. I think we had a good go at it.
Yeah, man, we FMK'd pretty well. How long have we been at that?
From my upside down perspective, an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
You guys, now we're not going to do a fun time for this episode because this entire episode.
No,
is...
we are. I told you what it's going to
Oh yeah, I was a liar the whole time while I was saying that. Okay, yeah, never mind. We're gonna have a fun time.
So we're gonna break for fun time. Bye.
Yeah, and we're back for 1, 2, 3, fun time.
Forge Bay.
be.
Bay.
1, 2, 3.
Forge Bay.
Hey guys, there's a new starter box.
And it doesn't have Space Marines.
Woohoo!
That is nuts.
What does it have?
It has some weird robots and some other weird robots.
Okay, some robot on robot crimes.
Yeah. No humans were harmed in the production of this film.
That's not true.
You tell the guys that walk their legs down to nubs.
Yeah, so this is a really cool new box set. It doesn't look it's a battle box, so it's not a board game.
Yeah.
Like Calf or Prospero.
Prospero?
I don't know, whatever.
No, it's like a legit starter set, like narrative box starter set.
Yeah. So it's about two venerable empires clash for supremacy on a forge world. That was revealed to be a tomb world.
That has... Oh, they didn't put it in there?
It says ore.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be like Blackstone Fortress material.
Oh,
Ooh.
like the pylons that were on Cadia.
Oh, discover the secrets of Blackstone. A
Yeah.
mysterious material with the potential to neutralize the powers of chaos, or
Yeah.
even amplify it to a horrific degree.
Ooh, yeah, so yeah, the pylons that were on Cadia, God
Are
rest
those
it.
Blackstone?
Yeah, that was
cool.
the whole idea. Like, it was pushing the...
Whereas the Blackstone fortresses either stabilized the Eye of Terror, or Abaddon used them to focus the Eye of Terror.
Cool.
Yeah, so
Causing the
super...
great...
I mean, that's kind of a big swing one way or the other. I wonder how they...
Well, nuclear energy's good, and then it's really bad.
Well, so is electricity, provided that you're using to turn lights on and
And
not kill pachyderms.
Or elephants.
What do you think a pachyderm is?
You're right. I caught that after I said that. Who did that?
Thomas Edison.
Right. So yeah, this is a new box.
Enemy of the podcast.
Him and P.T. Barnum.
You know what?
Those guys.
Man, now I gotta edit that. But I am fine drawing that line in the sand that I don't like Edison and I don't like P.T. Barnum.
Yeah. It's declared.
Hot takes. Sorry, guys.
Should I Google P.T. Barnum? You're just going to tell me who it is.
On your own time.
Yeah. So this is a cool set. We've actually got just 2 new models, but they're cool models.
Yep.
We've got the new Baby Knight. What are they called?
I don't know.
Oh, Armiger Warglaves,
Sure.
which are Baby Knights.
They should really buy a thesaurus.
Yeah.
Like, because what's... A warglaive is now different than a glaive, is now different than a blah, blah, blah.
But what's really cool is the new Necron Cryptek with a distinctive canoptic cloak. And not like a Romulan cloak, but like a wizard's cloak.
Yeah, it's like a little...
It's like a Romulan cloak.
It's like a little tail that ends in a mini tomb spider. And I really like the look of it as a piece of war gear. I don't know. I want to see how it functions. I like the model well enough. It just... I don't know.
Is he riding the tomb spider?
No, it's attached to his butt via a spine. I like the model well enough. It just looks like 2 models.
Yeah,
As
robot riding robot.
Yeah.
Yep. Also not a big fan of the Knight model.
No?
It's a fine Knight model. It just looks like a downscaled...
It's kind of a mash between the Chicken Walker and the Imperial Knight.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. I mean, I think if it was like Mechanicum only, I'd be okay with it. But if it's available to everybody, it'd be like, that's a little weird.
It's available to everybody.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's a cool new thing and some new units. This thing's going to sell like hotcakes just for people to get the cheap Knights.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Also got Wraiths.
Wraiths, how much is the box set? Do we know?
No idea.
It's probably going to be...
Let's guess. $65.
What? Get out
No,
of here.
80?
160.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant three Wraith.
Oh, 3 Wraiths is $60.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. So
Oh my God. What?
I'm just gonna.
you were talking about race, and you're like, I wonder how much that box. I thought you were gonna like end up adding it all together.
No, But yeah, like
I agree. 180, 150.
yeah, 150. That's usually what they're.
What was Calth?
Calth was like 180, 190. And this is a lot less
Same.
models than Calth, though.
But it's got big
Fewer.
models. Big models.
Yeah.
Take counters.
True.
Counter that.
You're right.
Honestly, I think before we sign off, we need to just big up the fact that it's no Space Marine in this box. Like, that's really cool.
That's
Oh, also, I
that's a
wonder-
risk for them for a box like this, especially a release like this. But it's, I admire that.
But of the two factions you're going to put in a box, one is starved for new models, the Mechanicum,
Yep.
or Mechanicus. Which one am I talking about?
Mechanicus.
Mechanicus. And the other has a new Codex right around the corner.
Well, that's what I wonder. Are we going to see rules for these new units? Are we going to see new rules for Necrons in this box set?
Maybe. But I think from like a marketing perspective, that's great. The only way that this thing gets better is if somehow those knights have a transport capacity.
Actually, no, here's something that was in the article. Forgebane is a great place to start a Necron or Adeptus Mechanicus army. And the set will cost you less than getting everything inside separately, and that's before you count the new Cryptek and Imperial Knight units.
Wow. So maybe like $120.
Maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because there's no big rulebook anymore in there, right? Like they don't have to put a softcover rulebook. It's just the 8-page card. That's impressive.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I mean, you buy 2 of those, you have an amazing 2 new armies.
Yeah, 2 of those, you got a big Necron army. Well, not big, but
Yeah.
You need warriors. You
Yeah,
need 40 warriors.
Yeah. But hey, 10 Immortals, 10 Lichguard after that, you get 2 characters and 6 race. Like, that's a sizable Necron army.
And like the Lichguard builds the Praetorian kit too.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, because they're just going to... Like, they're not remaking any easy fit, push-made kits.
no,
They're just chucking the sprue right in.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to mess around.
Super cool.
Yeah, because like my love of Praetorians.
I don't, tell me.
Oh, they're great. They move 10 inches.
They move 10 inches?
Yeah, they got jump packs, man.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're good.
Those dudes with the storm shields and the knives?
No. The guys
Yes.
with the
They can have storm shields and knights.
no, they have knives and pistols, or they have big axes.
Oh, I'm thinking of Lichguard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that not what those are?
Well, the Lichguard kit also builds Praetorians.
Oh, sorry.
And it's pretty dope because you can fly all around.
Someone wants those Necrons if someone wants to split it with digital nonsense. I don't know who that is, but
I think it's Corey.
Corey?
I'm in Timmins for work. So
Yeah, it's Corey. But yeah, that's
you-
our fun time. We're just
no, he was answering the question: are pariahs the new Praetorians? Praetorians the new pariahs?
Yeah. I mean,
no, but also yes.
I'll totally buy like the Praetorian box and the Cryptek. Like, only from this one person I'm talking to. Please don't contact me on Friday after listening to the podcast being like, yo, dude, I got all this for you. Because I'd be like, oh, no. I didn't mean it like that. I was talking to one person virtually, not everyone. Virtually.
And like both these armies are armies that I totally thought would do. AdMech certainly more than Necrons.
Do AdMech. Don't step on my metal toes. You know what? I gotta add like 20 more warriors and a bunch of immortals and a bunch more Praetorians.
So you're like in a good place.
Oh yeah. Well, I've got
So we should just team up. We should each get a box and just trade.
I've got like probably 20 warriors just in a bag that I haven't built,
Nice.
and I'm gonna have the hovery Cryptek because I'm a man Narco.
I mean, this is exactly why this box is good.
Yeah.
It's allowing us to be excited about not Space Marines and get creative and have fun with this. So,
Yeah.
Thank you, GW, for taking a risk and doing some cool new stuff and promoting some of your new models through something that's really fun.
Yep.
That's fun time, which means it's time for listener mail. We don't have any listener mail.
Yeah. Guys, we should get a...
P.O. box?
Yeah. Or something.
Just send mail to my house.
Yeah, well, I don't want to give out your address.
I just want dollar bills in my mailbox.
Send me $5, and I will send you $3. It was a very slow scheme.
But we will do another Frag, Marry, Kill in Season 3.
Uh-huh. And we're going to be around for Season 3.
We are.
Because nobody can do it.
We just got to figure out how to do 20 more episodes. 21 more episodes in Season 2.
There's got to be like 15 Space Marine Codexes we can review.
It's true. There's a bunch of stuff. We have a whole spreadsheet with these topics.
I know. We're going to have to dig it out now. We're pretty much done the autopilot episodes.
Good night, podcasting world.
Good night, Nick. There's tons of stupid questions. There's stupid answers, too. There's people that are stupid for asking them.
That's why you put plastic sheets down.